Live from Studio C. Two guys who ask, wonder what they're doing in T-Town right now? Not this. It's South Alabama's #1 podcast, Drive Time with DJ and KJ.
Good Monday morning. Let's get it. Welcome to Drive Time, the best worst show ever. Good morning, Alan Howard. Jesse James is in. Good morning, Jesse James. Tanya Rowland, good morning to you. Hot Rod, good morning, sir. Miss Gail, good morning. Hope you had a good weekend. Johnny Sims, good morning. Stephanie Floyd, good morning to you. Did I say Miss James? Good morning, Miss James.
I think you did.
Okay. Christy
Good
Hazelwood,
morning,
good morning. Sandy Townsend, good morning to you. Tracy Miller, happy birthday and good morning.
Happy
Tracy
birthday.
had a birthday over the weekend. Haley Lum, good morning to you. John Blair, good morning, sir. Miss Carol's in. Good morning, Miss Carol. Kimberly Blair, good morning. Tracy Steele, good morning, Tracy. Lori Woodard, good morning, Lori.
Good morning, Lori.
Kimberly Peebles, O'Clack, good morning to each of you. Good morning, Cheyenne. Fuquay, good morning, Fuquay.
In the house.
Danny Smith, yes, Monday already. Let's do it. Good morning, Wanda Green. Let's see here. Kristen Kennedy's in. Good morning to you. Morning, Leroy. And good morning, Cody Fowler. Good morning, Kenwood.
Good morning. Good morning, DJ. How was the baseball this weekend?
It was great. It was great.
I understand that was the place to be in Bruton, Alabama on Saturday.
I'm going to tell you, it was great for a lot of different reasons. It was great for reason number one, to see those guys get out and get to play one more time. Had their season obviously cut short with the COVID-19, but especially the seniors to get out there and put their school colors on and compete with their teammates. That was really cool. And then, of course, the community support, capacity crowd on the hill. Capacity.
That's what you said. It was it was a pretty good crowd that showed up.
And then the sponsorships, of course, Peach Ford, Pete Chevrolet, Josh Goblin with Davis Catfish and Popeyes, and Winston Lindsay came in with Living Southern Homes and added to the pot there at the end. So both programs walked away with $1,000. And I can tell you, I was talking to Coach Madden after the fact. For a full season, a regular season, they spend about $1,100 on baseballs, just on baseballs.
Wow.
So the fact that he was able to pick up a grand, that'll cover him for next year. And that goes a long ways.
Now, so I know you had mentioned to me earlier that, of course, Josh Godwin and Peach Ford, Peach Automotive, basically Chip, and had put up some prize money. I think the winning team was going to get a grand, or the winning program going to get a grand, and then the runner up was going to get a $500. But I want to say that Winston's, is it Southern Living or Living
Southern?
Yeah, so Living Southern Homes. I think they came in and popped another $500 in it. Did they not?
They did. So both teams walked away with a $1,000. Yep.
I'll tell you what, man. It's how many times do we have to say it? That's why we live.
It's the greatest community. It is.
It's
the greatest community in the world. Good morning, Freddie Whitfield. It's the greatest community in the world.
It was. Nobody asked Winston to do that. Nobody asked Josh. Nobody asked Chip. I think they just all. Didn't you say this was Josh's?
It was Josh's idea. I was eating at David's Catfish a couple of weeks ago, and he walked up and said, "Here's what I want to do. Can it happen?" And of course, you had to make sure we were within the guidelines of the AHSAA.
Right.
He got with both the coaches. They ironed out all the details. They got the teams there, and it was great. Everybody left there with a smile on their face. I mean, to see especially for those seniors, I keep going back to that, and to see the family members get a picture made with their player or whatnot, it was cool. Dennis Fuquay, like I said, with all the good people at Coastal Alabama Community College, they were excited to have so many people on campus. The field was amazing. It was just a good day.
So, and as you and I were talking before we went live, so it didn't cost a dime to get in, but there was enough people there. You're saying that the concession stand stayed busy.
Concession stand stayed busy, and I hope they did well. Like I said, Coach Blevins has limited resources over there, like everybody does,
Right.
to run their program, and hopefully he was able to make a little bit to help him with his efforts next year. But
Sure.
it was good. It was a good day. It was a great day.
I'll tell you what. I had quarantine last week messed me up, fouled me up. So I had things going on, but I maybe I shouldn't even put this out this early. I know you and I were talking a while ago. Next year it might be softball and baseball.
Probably needs to be.
Yeah,
probably needs to be.
Well, if that'd be a full day of it.
Yeah.
So what I would say to that is we will definitely be in the house. For that.
It would
that'll give us some time though to get ready and all that kind of stuff and get ready for it.
Everybody walked away from there Saturday wanting to build on it and do something very similar next year.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing.
Good morning, Coach Tiepo. Coach was there.
Yeah, hey, Coach. The thing about a game like that is everybody's out there playing. I mean, for the love of the game.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. It turned into a Battle of Murder Creek quick.
Oh well,
it was.
If it hadn't have, I'd been disappointed.
It was kumbaya until the first pitch, and then it was
sides were drawn.
It was exactly what you thought it would be. It was exactly what you hoped it would be.
Yeah,
very competitive game. T.R. Miller jumped out on top 6-0, and the Blue Eagles came back and put a 4 spot up in the 4th or 5th inning. Had chances to even do more damage, but it was good. It was well played.
So, were there any, I guess, like rules on how much people could pitch or how much people could?
Let me say this: there were some things in place that you had to do to not be in trouble with the AHSAA.
Right.
One, you couldn't play on a high school campus.
Right.
That's why we were at the junior college and certainly proud to be there. And that was a pretty cool treat for those kids to get to play over a real nice field, a junior college field. They enjoyed that. Number 2, you couldn't wear an official school uniform.
Right.
That's why Josh and Chip, provided the jerseys for the kids. One team was the Tigers, and of course the Blue Eagles on the other side. And they couldn't use school equipment. So Coastal Alabama provided their batting helmets for the boys to use. And the third was the school coaches could not be in the dugout with them. Now, both school coaches were there on the other side of the fence, but Ricky Thomas coached the T.R. Miller team, and Alvin Hayes coached the WSNL team. So all that was in place. We adhered to the guidelines and the rules set forth by the AHSAA, and just had a big time. Now, the coaches amongst themselves decided that nobody would pitch more than 2 innings. And that was more of a safety measure because kids hadn't played in quite some time. You certainly want to protect those young arms, but it was a great day. It really was. It was fun.
Slide his way just a little. I think either I've gotten the frame narrower and who knows. I'm glad to hear that it was a big time. And how many people did you say you figure might have been there?
I was talking to Josh before the game and asking him what his expectation level was, and he said he'd like to see 100 people here. Oh, it far exceeded 100. If you told me it was 300, I would believe you. I know there was more than 200.
That's a lot of people.
There was a lot of people there. It was fun.
Yeah. Good morning, Stephen Jernigan, Melanie French, JoJo Holmes. Good morning, JoJo. So it sounded like that was a big time.
It was hot. A little warm, but that's okay.
That's to be expected. That Saharan dust hadn't provided enough dust cover to cool it off a little bit.
Didn't cool it off much. I can tell you how I wound up my Saturday night.
In traction?
Well, if I was going to go, I went in styles. I called Danny Smith and I said, hook me up with a large thin pepperoni. And he did.
I just remember, I know you said earlier that standing up on that concrete for 3 straight hours was kind of tough on you.
It worked on me.
Yeah.
It did. I guess.
Maybe you didn't have enough arch support in your shoes, what is it?
I had on my Brookses. I gave myself every chance I had, but it was hurting. It was hurting.
Of course, Chippy always delivers.
Always. It was great. That was probably the most fun for me was being with Chippy in that capacity. Chippy's great.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I mean, he's great. He loves it. He loves the game. A couple of his neighbors were in the game, Bracken Pettis and Earl Dollahite.
Sure.
On the Tara Miller side.
Sure.
So it was good.
He and I take it that he's gonna be ready to do the next one next year.
I think so. Yep.
So after seeing that, what is your expectation as far as sports moving forward this fall? After seeing what you saw Saturday,
I think both coaches have a lot to be excited about moving forward.
Sure.
Both coaches. You sit there and you start thinking about the performances from the different players. On the Miller side of it, the first 2 RBIs came from freshmen, Brooks Hart and Sam Kelly. They drove in the first 2 runs for T.R. Miller, which, was a pretty impressive thing. And maybe the most impressive was Jashawn Jones from W.S. Neal, just completed his 7th grade year of school, and he fit like a glove. He was not overmatched one time in the ball game.
Wow.
He's going to be, remember that name, Jashawn Jones. We call him J-Man.
He's going to be tough.
Yeah. He's full grown right now.
What position does he play?
He was playing right field, but he can play anywhere. His granddaddy's Robert Jones.
Oh, well,
and so he comes from good stop.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Well, that's awesome.
The Crane kid from Neal.
Jacob?
He's legit. Blake is certainly T.R. Miller's stacked. I can tell you T.R. Miller is really stacked, and Neal has a lot to work with also.
Well, how did Coach Madden and Coach Grace take to not being able to be
not well
in the dugout calling the shots?
Not well at all.
I mean, I thought I'd toss that out there.
Yeah, they paced back and forth pretty good. Were pretty vocal through the fence. They're inside the dugout for a reason, and you put a coach outside, it just doesn't work. Now they stayed where they were supposed to stay. They didn't do anything that got in the gray area.
Sure.
In terms of the AHSAA, but
they volunteering advice.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I mean they were just being fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So who they have first base and third base coaching?
Ricky Thomas was the coach for the T.R. Miller team, and Alvin Hayes was the coach for the WSNL team.
But
Jacoby Hawthorne
on the lines. Yeah.
Jacoby Hawthorne was the assistant at Neal, and I'm not sure who the young man was at Miller.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was all everybody had a great time, and you're saying that you think it'd probably be bigger next year.
I think it's going to be. I think that's something that all parties are interested in building on.
Now, explain, and I understand what you're talking about with the AHSAA, but explain that explain to everybody why the coaches couldn't participate.
Well,
and why it couldn't be played at either field.
It wasn't necessarily the COVID-19 has everything suspended. They have not they have not come out from under that umbrella yet.
Okay.
During the summer, there are restrictions in place anyway in terms of what you can do as a team.
Okay.
I think you can have maybe 7 get together and maybe a designated agent coach them. But there was some things in place. Number 1, because it was a summer, and number 2, because of the mess that we have going on with the pandemic, just kind of added to it. But it all worked out. It all worked out fine. Sister says they did the same thing at Daphne. So dads came together and made that happen for the final thing. So that's awesome. That is awesome. Well, it's all, listen, if you got that many of the community that come out on a Saturday afternoon to be part of that, I think you said, and you may not want this said on there, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Probably the biggest crowd ever at Warhawk. Is that what Warhawk Stadium?
Yeah, there's no doubt on the hill, no doubt.
Yeah, it was, and I'm gonna. The way I finished the broadcast Saturday, I will reiterate here. It was a testament to our community. Okay, there was 11 kids on the WSNL team that were able to play, and there was 11 on the T.R. Miller team. Okay, so you got 22 participants, and 300 people show up to watch it. I mean, that's a lot more just outside immediate family.
Oh,
I mean, that's people that want to go watch and be supportive. And I just thought it spoke volumes of our community. It was great to see it. It was great. I mean, it was a great day. And I said, and the way I close up, what I meant to say, the way I close out the broadcast, if you see Josh Godwin and you see Chip and you see Winston, you ought to consider trading with them when you're in that line of it, but certainly pat them on the back and shake their hand for them because they didn't have to do it. I mean, and I'm going to tell you something. Josh had a rake in his hand.
Yeah.
Josh just wasn't there with a checkbook. When I walked up, he had a rake in his hand getting the field ready. So, I mean, he's all in. He was invested in the day.
So, is this now, when things get back to normal and you still do this kind of thing, can we see football on the horizon that this may happen for as well?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, would that be, let me say this. If you said it doesn't cost a dime, but where could you play it? Because you got to play it on a neutral site, right? So where would you?
Football would be a little different animal just because of the nature of the game. If you can't use school equipment, how do you get shoulder pads and helmets?
Right.
It's pretty easy to get 5 batting helmets.
So you couldn't use not any school equipment.
There was no school equipment.
Nothing.
In either dugout. Kids either had their own or the junior college provided.
Right. So as you said, baseball and maybe the addition of softball next year would take care of it. All right. So let me ask you this: what about moving on into the fall as far as what you saw on Saturday? What about moving on into the fall as far as the Rona is concerned? I mean, are you encouraged by what you saw on Saturday? Obviously, community-wise, yes. But I'm saying just as an overall.
I know they're going to start. I know that seasons will get started. And, of course, we've talked about this before off mic.
Sure.
Everybody who is making decisions right now have nothing to draw from an experience standpoint. It's fluid. I mean, it really changes every 24 hours. You see things going on in Texas, things going on in Florida and Arizona in terms of numbers, and you just don't know. I think from an economical standpoint, it's needed to keep the wheel rolling, but I could see a bad deal possibly also.
Leroy wanted to know, did the concessions have extra tartar sauce? Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Josh made sure of that.
Josh wasn't going to show up somewhere that DJ had anything to do with without bringing that salve.
You better bring have that salve. I see Keith Barksdale in, and he's one of the guys that he doesn't know this. Keith and I graduated the same year. He graduated from Neal, and of course me from T.R. Miller, but I follow him on Facebook.
Okay.
He makes regular posts, during the week, another day on Connolly, and he's usually cooking out. And he'll show the grill, another day on Connolly. I love it. Every one of his posts, another day on Connolly.
That's awesome.
I'm going by there. He's invited me.
Sounds like a series.
I'm telling you, it's either a pork chop or a chicken or a steak or a hamburger.
You know what's crazy? So I watch this channel on YouTube called the Barbecue Pit Boys from time to time. And they kind of started out exactly like you're saying. They just, would just some friends show up and they just decided to start cooking. They started filming it, but they started out like you said, like another day and wherever they were at. And next thing you know, that thing is blew up into just crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I've told Keith I'm stopping by one day, another day on Connolly.
That's awesome.
Another day on Connolly.
That's a hashtag waiting to happen, isn't it?
Another day on Connolly.
Another day on Connolly. Food must look pretty good,
looks
too.
Real good.
So I got to tell you, man, I loved the skating rink post in the drive time group.
I saw that. That was a no doubter.
Do you know how many people started doing the Cabbage Patch immediately when they heard that song come on? And my favorite comments was, "That's my jam.
My jam. That's
the jam to go around the skating rink with."
I don't know if you noticed, and one of the things, and we've talked about this before, the drive time family is everybody.
Sure.
It's not,
absolutely.
We're inclusive. It's not a clique. It's everybody. I love seeing Mayor Terry Carter in there.
Hey, That was awesome. It was.
That was great.
I will tell you, man.
She's a friend of ours.
She
Love
is.
Terry.
Yes.
But she remembers.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, how can you not, when you watch that and you sit there and think, I wonder how many miles we put on skates back in those days. Well, some of us may not have put a lot of miles on them, but then some of us may have.
You know, I thought of Renee Johnson because one of the girls on there had the white skates. I don't know if you saw her or not.
Hey,
I said, that's Renee.
I did. That girl was kind of getting with it too.
That's Renee.
Yeah. She, I did. I thought that post was, it was off the chain. Like, did you just stumble across that?
Yeah, it just showed up and it was a no doubt. I said, okay, I got it.
But listen, I'll tell you a fun fact about that song. That song is by a group called Freestyle. And it was on an album called Trenier and Friends back from I'm going to say 86, 87-ish, somewhere in there. And loaded up, went to Pensacola one weekend back about 89, 90, and watched a concert with those folks in it. And let me tell you, in the Pensacola Civic Center, when that song comes on, can you imagine all the heads bobbing up and down?
Imagine there'd be a few.
That's what it was.
Imagine there'd be a few.
It was. It really was. But yeah, I thought that was a cool post. I did. I'll tell you something else I thought was really cool. Kind of touching back on the sports thing there for a second. I checked in a couple of times on the broadcast, and one time when I checked in, I had 64 people watching live.
Yeah, we had a good group in there, especially while there was action. Sometimes the half inning break, it would drop a little bit, but it was very common to be in the 50s most of the afternoon.
I mean, that's I saw somebody made a comment. It was awesome to be able to watch. I think they said from Pennsylvania or somewhere wherever they were at.
It's like it always is. They're from everywhere.
Yeah, that's just an awesome thing to do.
You can tell anytime we do something. You can tell when I'm the producer and when you're the you're the producer.
The only thing that I thought of when I started watching that was, man, I know a guy that's going to have a lot of fun.
Oh,
with this.
Yeah. With the chain link.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it worked.
Yeah.
And sounded good.
Well, you know,
the only time that you couldn't hear it is when the music was being played between the innings.
And you know, it kept popping up on my phone that if the music continued to play, they were going to shut it down, I guess, for copyright issues.
That's right.
There was no way around it for me. I was like, well, if they shut it down, they shut it down. I can't, you know, it was up in the press box where they were playing the music.
Yeah, you can't mute it because you had no way to mute it.
There was no way to get around it.
Sure.
But it worked out.
But the good thing is, how long, maybe 30 seconds tops, music?
Yeah.
So that's why it didn't, you know, I'm sure that's why it didn't get popped, which is a good thing. So, you know, so I know we don't like to get off in what have you, but what's your thoughts and opinions on the Florida governor deciding to? I'm still confused by this, and this is the reason I'm bringing this up. Apparently, you can, like, bars are one of the hot spots, but restaurants with bars are not considered one of the hot spots. Walmart, not considered a hot spot. Home Depot.
You know, we've talked about this.
But churches are.
Yeah.
I don't mean churches chicken. I mean churches. Yeah.
You know, we've talked about this. And take the politics out of it.
Well, that's right. I'm not talking political.
Can you imagine the decision makers, whether they are Republican or Democrat, can you imagine how many different directions they get pulled in the course of a day?
It's
you got people in this ear saying this, people in this ear saying that. You don't know what to hang your hat on. You're just, I really think you're trying to do the best you can.
Yeah.
And it's just so much unknown out there, and it's such a fluid situation. I don't know, man. I feel for everybody who sits in the chair. Those tough calls.
I do too. And of course, you know, when you're talking about people's livelihoods and that kind of thing, it is tough. I mean, and like you said, there's no experience to draw from because we're in uncharted waters. You know, I guess the point I'm making is that, you know, I think it was Miami-Dade County or whatever, they come out and said they were closing the beaches for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And my thought on that is it's July 4th weekend coming up. I don't know how that benefits, and I understand they're trying to flatten the curve or what have you. I get that, but wouldn't you say most beach businesses make their money from Memorial Day to Labor Day?
Yeah, I mean,
and especially the big holiday weekends. That's going to hurt some businesses.
I think it goes without saying that the majority of people, if not all of them, have people's welfare at the forefront.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that has to be number one.
Absolutely.
I think you certainly try to balance that with the economic factor that goes along with it. I mean,
Sure.
You're not going to compromise somebody living and dying over $1. I certainly hope you wouldn't.
Right.
But it's one of those things. I don't know. You're danged if you do, and you're danged if you don't. I'll tell you one thing. I have resigned myself to, though, and I think a lot of us, when this started, were hoping that it would be a 30-day deal, or maybe worst case scenario, a 60-day deal. This is a marathon. This is going to be months, if not a year. And I think that we need to dig in and be prepared to hold on for the long haul, because until a vaccine presents itself, this is going to be what it is.
Good morning, Zeke Smith. Let's see. We have a clean guy at work. He walks around, pushes his cleaning cart, playing jam like that. I be expecting him to break out the roller skates. Well, hey, don't be surprised, Jeff. Don't be surprised. There he is, Chef Adam. Good morning to you, sir. Yeah, well, I'm like you. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes.
Tough decisions.
Dr. Mackey had a press conference on Friday.
I saw some of it.
Basically, the gist of it is they're leaving most of the decisions up to the local school system.
Smart man.
He punted on that one, didn't he?
Smart man. If we're gonna get barbecued, we're gonna have a big barbecue. We're gonna have a lot of people in the rotisserie.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Matter of fact, I've got to text him. I text him on Saturday. I got to text him again today and see if we can't get him to call in. But I'd like to hear and of course I know he can't throw any, concrete things. But I would like to hear some of what his thoughts are for moving forward.
I love to visit with Dr. Mackey.
I
I think he's an honorable person. When we talked with him back in the spring, he was talking about, we're either all going to do it or we're all not going to do it. And that has changed a little bit.
It has.
And you expect it to, and it'll change again. I mean, as he gets information, he's trying to make the best decisions based off of that information.
That's right. That's right.
As it changes, policy will change.
So, I told you we were going to throw all those names. It was 298 of them this morning that I tossed into the BMP randomizer.
Is this the first
For
responder?
the first responder $100 handshake.
James Brothers Furniture was putting up one of the 100.
That's right. Jesse Rigby at James Brothers Furniture. And then, of course, me and yourself here at Drive Time putting up the other Hyundai, long wheelbase 10. And I have two names.
We got winners.
We have winners.
Let's get
I
it.
said we was going to announce it this morning about 8 o'clock. So let's do Jesse's first. So compliments of James Furniture, Jesse Rigby. Drum roll, please. Mr. Dustin Postlethwaite.
Bruton Fire Department.
Bruton PD. Bruton Fire Department. Bruton PD. Bruton Fire Department. That's correct.
That's great.
How about that?
Easy Hun. Thanks for everybody who put his name in.
And I'll
he
tell
was
you
in there
something.
several times.
He was in there a bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, a bunch of times. He was. So congratulations there, Dustin. And I'm sure that somebody will let you know. I may even try to text him and let him know, and get a.
Dustin just had another son.
Really?
Yeah, he's so $100 will go a long ways.
Hey, $100 might buy some formula.
You better believe it.
That stuff can get expensive. So that one was compliments of Jesse Rigby at James Furniture. Let's get the you ready for ours?
Yeah.
Now I can't say how many times this guy's name was put in there, but I know it was in there a bunch as well. because when I was dropping them all in the thing, I would notice, just by the sheer numbers of names.
Yeah.
But I kept noticing some over here. But winner from Drive Time, compliments of DJ and KJ, Officer Brian Wesley.
Oh, hey, Brian.
With the Bruton Police
Bruton
Department.
PD.
That's right. And listen, we threw 298 names in. It shuffles them all up, and bam, it spits out 2.
I know what he's going to use his money on, and that's gas back and forward from the ballpark. He's got 3 playing.
He's going to need it.
Yep. That's great.
A fact.
That's great.
But Brian is a school resource officer. I believe
he's at the high school.
Yeah, I believe he's at the high school. And Brian is a great friend of the community. And just like Dustin, we are lucky to have guys like Brian and Dustin on the, making sure that Rona or no Rona or any of the rest of that stuff, they're taking care of business for us.
Yeah, that's great. Glad they
help make this community what it is.
2 deserving winners.
That's right. So, congratulations, Dustin and Brian, and we'll be in touch and let you guys know what's going on. Good morning, Ken Douglas. Let's see who else is Fuquay. What's going on, Fuquay? So it seemed to be a little more thrashing or so, if you will, a little more rowdy and work over the weekend.
Yeah, it gets a little chippy in there on the weekends.
It seemed to be a little rowdy over the weekend. I was happy to see Cam Newton signed with New England for a year. It really set the Bammers back. They didn't care for that too much.
He and Jarrett Stidham are going to be teammates.
How about that?
That'll be interesting to see how that shakes out.
Ask you a question. Jarrett Stidham, Cam Newton.
Cam Newton. Did I say it quick enough? I don't care what color dress he's wearing.
Yeah.
Or what color heels he's wearing.
It just doesn't take that long, does it?
Not me.
Look, man, Dennis Rodman used to show up with all colored hair. He loved to show up wearing a wedding dress. But guess what?
He was going to ball.
When it came time,
he was going to ball.
He was a baller. Okay? And he took care of business. I think Cam's been battling some injuries over the last few years, hasn't he?
I'm going to stay tight-lipped about it until it goes down. The only issues he's had is he's been hurt. Well, let me tell you something. He's healthy for the first time in 3 years.
Yes.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
I know what's going to happen.
What's going to happen if he goes in there and breaks 2 or 3 of Brady's records for a single season?
He's going to.
Is that would that erase Tom Brady from the Patriots?
No. Oh, no. He's not getting erased.
Listen, you see what Cam did when he walked in at Auburn. I mean, even though it cost us a couple $100,000.
He's not getting erased.
The Bammers are so mad about it because they didn't know he was for sale.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They still hadn't got over that.
Well, they got pineapple in there, so it worked out. Tit for tat.
And his brother left.
Yep.
Now, let me ask you this. Wonder why that happened.
Well, number one,
Alabaster just wasn't treating them just wasn't treating them good anymore.
Number one, he's not very good. He's not a very good football player.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
That was just a token signature. Is that what you're saying?
That was part of the package.
Pineapple Jr.?
They've got much better than him still in the fold.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see how Cam does, and it's going to be good. I'm like you. He's healthy. You putting him on a team like the Patriots. I mean, whew.
I think it's a great fit for Cam. The best part about it.
When do they play Tampa Bay? That's what I want to know.
the best part about it is most of his money is based off of incentives, so he has to perform to get it. So I would say, watch out.
Yeah,
I would say, watch out.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah, I agree with Jesse James. He's a genius. It's called press. I'm thinking about it. Rodman did it. I mean, look, here come the Bammers. They can't stand it. Leading the charge.
Like I said, I didn't know what what color dress he's going to show up in on game day, but if he's healthy,
I don't care.
You're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, I don't care what color dress he showed up in. We have another fly in this stinking room.
Well, I got a little something for him.
How does that happen? I don't. There's no way for flies to get in here. So, I don't. Anyway. Yeah, as long as he's, like I said, here comes the Bammers. They can't help it.
Let me guess. Darren's brother's in here?
He's one of them. Yes. Talking about head hits and laptops.
Darren's brother.
Connie B said food options and dining in Alabaster were lackluster at best. I don't know that I've ever been. I know you don't travel that far past Auburn. I don't know that I've ever been to Alabaster. Have you?
I have not.
So I'm not sure what the allure was to, hey, let's pack up from Paradise and move
anywhere in the world, gang.
Yeah, and move to Alabaster.
Anywhere in the world you want to go.
I'm gonna tell you this: if you watch some of that, there's a couple of documentaries out. One of them talking about the Adidas pay, where they were, paying coaches, and but it was more the basketball thing.
Oh yeah,
have you seen?
I've seen some of it.
Yeah. Well, can't we just reside to the fact that that's going on everywhere?
It is, and it has been for years.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you something. When they peel that onion all the way back,
it's gonna get ugly.
I'm gonna tell you who's gonna be in the middle of it.
Who?
Coach K.
Oh,
and Coach K is considered untouchable by most people.
Yeah, well,
there haven't been any bigger cheaters than that guy. I can tell you that.
Hey, listen,
Coach K is.
His name's been mentioned a bunch around that whole scandal.
He's protected also. They protect him.
But that's it. It would appear that a lot of people are. I'm telling you, man. I don't know where these flies come from.
What is this?
This keeps me from having to look over here. It's just I don't do it. I'm still trying to get used to doing it. This changes all the shots.
Okay.
I can do this with that, but I'll still, which would keep me from turning here.
This is new, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen that.
Well, it's been there for a week or two, but
I didn't notice it.
It's just one of them things that instead of having to punch it up all over here, you can just click a button and bam, it does it. So, Oh, so I did want to show something. You found a pic from a place that we had talked about a pretty good bit. And I thought it'd be cool to kind of show it. You want to show it?
Sure.
Now tell us a little bit about that pic right there, DJ.
That pic is from Bonnie Beach.
Do we know?
I have not been able to identify any of the kids on the slide there, but obviously they were having a big time.
They looked like they were having a big time.
Did you see the picture of the ticket that
I did?
I think it was 30 cents.
I did.
To go into Bonnie Beach for the day?
I did.
30 cents.
30 cents.
Got you in. And I think it showed it on the ticket. One of the things that was kind of interesting is I think the federal tax was a half a cent and the state tax was like 1.5 cents.
That's interesting.
I think to go in was 28 cents. And then when your taxes were figured in, it cost 30.
So now the Bammers are calling for it for the fly to land on my head. Darren's brother.
Darren's brother?
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
King Kane wants to know flies or Bammers, which is worse?
Well, they're both harmless. So
yeah. I mean, I see Rocky Birch is in. I'll tell you this. I don't know if you had to check. I didn't know Rocky was a songwriter. Didn't know he was a guitar player. But I saw a video Rocky had put out over on Facebook. I'm not sure when, maybe over the weekend. But I thought it was done really well. I had no idea.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. It sounded great. So technology, DJ, just ignore it.
Oh, trust me, I will.
Listen,
Trust me.
when that was over just then, he forgot totally about it. I can assure you. If it didn't have anything to do with AdamandEve.com, he's out. I can assure you. That's the technology he can opine on.
That's right.
Speaking of that, you said that the Red Room was all ready to go and all that kind of stuff. So, got her all cleaned up and greased up, if you will.
She's ready.
She's ready to roll.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a waiting room before going into that, like a green room, so to speak, or is it just come on in?
Let's come on in. Let's come on in.
There's Renee. Good morning, Renee Johnson. DJ was talking about you and them skates earlier.
I saw him.
Yeah, that was a good post, though. I mean, it was. Well, what else did you do over the weekend other than ball it up a little bit? Did you lay in traction all day Sunday?
No, I want to shift gears just a minute. We should have done this at the onset, and it slipped my mind. Lost a good man over the weekend. Cliff Grandison.
Glenn.
Glenn.
Oh man, I can't believe we didn't do that either. And you were right. I want to tell you something about Glenn Grandison. That guy had a smile that it was infectious.
You know, he was in the dealership maybe a month ago, and he was just one of those people that when he showed up on the scene, regardless of how your day may have been going to that point, it was going to be redirected in a positive way.
That's a fact.
He was just infectious like that. You know, graduated from Miller in 1980. Everybody knew Glenn, I think. Anybody who did know him, I think remember him.
Better for it.
He was just a good guy. Just so sad.
They were better for it.
Sad.
I promise you, because Glenn Grandison is one of the finest people. I got the privilege to work with him at back when it was Container or Smurfit, whatever you want to call it, back on the college program. And I tell you what, man, being a utility man on number one, number two paper machines, not the best job, but he made it better. I can assure you of that.
Good dude.
He was a great guy, and I want to say that the visitation is tonight, I think.
I think that's correct, and the service is tomorrow.
Yes.
At Williams Memorial.
Now, I'm asking because I don't know. Do you know if there are any limitations on that kind of thing? You know, with
I don't
guidelines
know.
and things?
I'm
not sure either. I'm not sure. But, again, we lost no doubt lost a great one. And our thoughts and prayers are with Miss Elaine and, of course, the family. And, you just don't replace somebody like that, you know. And I can tell you one thing, he knew just about everything it was to know about paper making. And he can tell you that. So, anyway, gone too early, that's for sure. And what they say, Glenn, how old was Glenn?
He's 8 years older than me.
Yeah, so he's
58.
58 years old?
Yeah.
Man.
Terrible.
That's awful. It is. Let's see here. So, anything else going on? Did you take Sunday to rest?
I'll tell you, I was hurting. I was hurting all day yesterday. Don't feel great today, but yesterday was tough for me.
I can imagine that it was probably a one of those things where you needed to get stretched out and not do a whole lot.
Ate a bunch of Advil.
Did you?
Ate a bunch of Advil yesterday.
Yeah. Well, good morning, Sharon Smith. Yeah, I can imagine. You
don't think about those things when you're a younger person, but you stand on concrete. I don't know what it does to anybody else out there. It completely breaks me down. It starts in my ankles, goes into my knees, into my back. I was hurting yesterday. I was physically hurting.
I'm gonna tell you, I've always had a real respect for the people that can stand behind one of those cash registers at the grocery store and stand there for 8 hours, and maybe with a 30-minute lunch or hour lunch. But anyway, can you imagine?
Well, think about the staff at these eateries.
Oh, man.
And I was thinking about Josh. Josh is on that floor all day, every day.
All day.
The young ladies who serve and bus tables or whatnot. I mean, they're on that concrete floor all day, 6 days a week.
It's got to be.
I don't know, man. Whew.
How about that? Stephanie Cato, good morning. First time joining.
Good morning, Stephanie. Glad you're with us.
Glad to have you this morning. I can't imagine. That'd be tough to do right there, especially when you talk. You don't realize it either. I bet you didn't think about that when you first started standing there, did you?
No, I did, because being at the Y, I make it a point to get on the grass at the Y. There's a concrete, deck out there, if you will, and there's different walk ups, and I always make it a point to get on the grass.
You know what I have? And I didn't even think about it, but now that I know that that's a problem, I'll get them for you. Whenever you go back to do that or do anything like that, if you're going to be standing up, I have those roll out rubber mats. It's those thick, spongy rubber.
Yeah.
Just to keep you from.
Yeah, man.
And now I'm not going to say it's as good as standing on grass, but I'm going to tell you it's almost as good.
It's got to be better. I mean, concrete is not your friend.
Yeah, no, it ain't helping you none.
No.
Yeah, no doubt. So, Oclack, I tell you what, I actually saw a little bit of that over the weekend. Oclack and his wife had a baby shower over the weekend they had live.
That's great.
Yeah. And, that's another big time event coming up in your life, Oclack, for sure. Danny Smith said it's rough on the hips.
It is. It just breaks you down, man. Danny knows about it. I mean, he's there, on his feet on the floor there at Pizza Hut. I mean, it just breaks you down.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I won't tell you, I don't know if there's any getting used to that, is it?
No.
I mean, especially the older you get. I mean, the older you get, it's got to be worse on you. I mean, so, man. Let me ask you a real quick question. I haven't seen a shake or two here with you lately. So I was just curious, have you backed off the shakes in the morning in lieu of what you talked about in here into the week last week about trying to get back into?
It's a time thing. I've been running lates in the morning and hadn't had a chance to swing by there and get one. I'll get back on them.
So, in mentioning that, I know the mud run got canceled. Have they looked at all at rescheduling that thing or anything like that at all?
I haven't heard that they have.
I was just curious because I know that you normally get all shaped up and ready to go when that thing happens, and I didn't know if you had, if you'd heard anything that they were looking at, redoing that or going to do it again or just what. I didn't know. So it looked like the Murder Creek softball had a good weekend.
Yeah, I saw where one of the teams, I think they might have been playing in Mississippi.
I think it was said 18U bring the heat champion, Murder Creek softball. So tell you what, man, that's could you imagine how many people would have been over there if you'd had baseball and softball Saturday?
Well, I'm gonna go back to Murder Creek softball for just a second. And there's a lot of moving parts in that make it happen. You have the coaches, Doug Sims and Damian Jackson and Alex Hawthorne and all those guys who volunteer their time in those capacities to coach those girls. But Greg Dawkins and his wife, Rhonda, started that several years ago.
Yes.
They just wanted a vessel for our ladies here to be able to participate in and get some extra playing as opposed to having to be on the more traditional travel ball circuit. And that has been an amazing program. I mean, the growth of it and what they have done and the quality of it is amazing. And that is another, and when we talk about it daily here, of course we can, that's just another nugget that we have in this community of people making things happen that help people.
And it does.
It does. I mean, to watch, to get better, you got to play.
Yes.
And of course, the better people you play against, the better you can get. and they have turned that into a quality program.
Oh, they certainly have, and especially dealing with what they've had to deal with this summer.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, to be able to make that happen. So
I said it here. I think it was last week. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at the YMCA, that 18U Murder Creek Softball League plays. I'm gonna tell you, man, that is good ball, really good ball. If you have nothing going on one afternoon, their time of play is usually 7 p.m. Sometimes 6:30. You ought to swing down there and catch some of it. It's high level softball.
now, is that made up of just local community people, or
It's
is it
Miller and Neal girls.
That's it.
And they're good. Oh, and I take that back. There's some from Northview. There's a couple from Flomaton.
Okay.
I think there's 1 or 2 from Jay.
Okay.
But it is there are no weak spots in the lineup. A lot of times in rec ball, you'll have 5 or 6, pretty good players, and it
Right.
tapers off from that. They're 10 deep, 4 teams deep.
Sure.
I mean, it is good ball. I would say it's the best program. I would say it's the highest level of play that we have, boys or girls.
Wow.
18U softball,
Wow.
good. Those girls are good.
Yeah. Oh man, look at that. Good morning. Let's see, Donnie and Gwinnett Lindsay. Good morning. Donnie Lindsay understands the hurt you're talking about. He worked in the meat market at Winn-Dixie for 23 years.
Yeah. I was just there for one day. I mean, mine was 3 hours.
Could you imagine with them big rubber water
I couldn't do
boots on that you have to wear in those things? I'm going to tell you, you got to have feet made out of bricks or something, don't you? I mean, it's got to be rough.
It's tough.
Yeah, got to be. So, Tracy, as of right now, yes. Unless something happens beyond my control, yes, still on. And I don't, of course, as DJ said earlier, that's a fluid situation. But as of right now, yes, it is. So we're still looking to have a good time come July 18th, Saturday. So speaking of that, what's the plans for the 4th? Second sandbar open? What's going on there?
I don't know that I've finalized plans for the 4th yet. My children are still in quarantine. Hopefully they'll come out this week and we can make some plans. But as long as they're holed up, that pretty much shuts down anything I want to do. Also,
Sure.
Waiting to see how that plays out.
So you're still in a holding pattern.
Yes, holding pattern would be a good way to put that.
Yeah. Well, this year with all the fireworks shows getting canceled, for the most part, I think now somebody may correct me if I'm wrong, but I think maybe Porch Creek at Wind Creek may be doing a fireworks display. I believe that's correct.
The 4th is this weekend, is that right?
Yes.
This Saturday.
So I believe they're doing a fireworks display this weekend.
If nothing else, I'm going to go to Conley Avenue.
Hey, what you're saying sounds like that might be the best place to be.
That's another day at on Conley Avenue.
I mean, that's just exactly. You keep talking about how good that food is. It makes me want to go with you.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, be some food being cooked.
Take a gallon of milk with me.
I'll tell you what, that's a true statement. There's ever been one right there. You need it. Whew. I mean, bad too. Speaking of that, trying to think of what the next drive time challenge would or could be, and I've been thinking about how to incorporate different foods into it. Of course, we're talking about the food challenge, and I'm just wondering if how many is it? What is it you like? Like the catfish fillets? Isn't that what you like at David's?
I like it all.
Yeah, but what is it you normally get when you go in there?
If I'm going to eat dinner, I get the fried shrimp.
Okay. So how many of those fried shrimp do you think you could eat?
I would feel comfortable with probably 30.
So, but if it was a competition on the line, do you think you could eat more?
Whatever it takes.
So I'm thinking maybe we were to look for an opponent. Of course, here it is. I'm, giving Josh's stuff away again, and I'm not, but I think we were to look for an opponent to have that with. I mean, you won the last one. I mean, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
And then got arrested for it after some foul play and foolishness went on down at, the mud run.
Always something with that guy.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think we ought to look for somebody to come in that might be another shrimp eater and sit down and see if they can't challenge you for that, for that. So Tim Wiggins good. Well, be safe driving, man, for sure. Come to Alco, I'm sure someone will be firing off some fireworks in Alco. The Pocky One chip. I don't know what that. I've seen.
I'm out on that.
What is that?
It's a single chip,
Okay.
and I'm out on that.
Well, like what? I'm just like confused. It's a single chip of what?
It's hot, spicy something.
Oh, okay. So it's a spicy chip.
I don't do spices anyway.
You don't like spicy food? Why not?
I just don't. I don't have a taste for it. Don't care for it.
Just doesn't agree with
Won't
you.
participate in anything that has to do with it.
Yeah. So it just doesn't work with you or
I just
what?
don't like spicy food.
Never have.
Mm-mm.
So if it's spicy, you're out.
I'm out.
You're definitely not a crawfish eater.
Out.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I couldn't make it without some good crawfish. Speaking of that, I think George and them had another big crawfish bowl over the weekend.
I saw them set up on Friday.
Yeah,
sure did.
I think they did. So I know. I think it was scheduled for Friday and Saturday. So, I've been meaning to ask you this. I see a lot of these posts on Facebook about they're having to clean out their closet sale.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever thought about doing something like that?
I'm still wearing it. This is vintage. This is I think this probably is 2011-ish, maybe.
Winning.
Hey, I'm just saying, I couldn't imagine what would come out of that red room closet.
Man,
But that's stuff you may not want to part with.
not going to.
Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. So I was just curious. I didn't know what that may or may not encompass. I've noticed a lot of people doing that. So now that you've had the Platinum Fusion for what, a week, 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
You want to tell us how big of a difference that the old Fusion to the Platinum Fusion is?
It's like night and day.
It's like literally, it's a whole new animal.
It's a whole new experience. I mean, I now get out and like at night, I just take it around the block.
Just to see the ambient lighting.
Ambient lighting and just the way it rides, the suspension. It's awesome. It's got navigation on it.
Does it get as good a fuel mileage as the older one?
Yes.
Or better?
No, it's comparable.
Okay. Well, hey,
I got my phone paired to it. That's been a pretty big deal for me.
I guess I need to watch some of those chip challenge things because I just don't know. I don't know what that is. But now apparently this chip must be rough if it's just one chip.
I think it's very expensive. I think it is. And I think that I don't think there's many people that can handle it.
Okay. Well, good morning, Susie Bush. Hey, Renee Johnson says she can eat some shrimp.
Well, let's hook it up.
I tell you what, if she comes in there rolling in on them roller skates, you're in trouble. Now, I know those are fried. Do you like boiled shrimp?
I do. I think they're stupid, but yeah, I'll eat them.
You think they're stupid?
I do. I mean, if you have the opportunity to fry it, why wouldn't you?
Okay. Well, that's a good.
But I'll eat them boiled.
Point.
I'll eat shrimp boiled. Sure.
No winner in Friday night's Mega Millions drawing, so we need to send some for some more tickets. Tuesday's drawing will be for $53 million or $42.1 million cash payout. No winner in the Powerball lottery either. So Wednesday's drawing will be for $51 million and a $40.6 million payout.
I'll bet you that nobody wins the midweek drawing.
Probably not.
It's just weird to me how every time around the 4th or Labor Day, they just get those mega pots up. I know people are going to be traveling. They're going to be in states, coming from states that may or may not have lotteries. And it just always seems like that on the holidays, they're just mega pots.
And there's probably some reason for that. I was talking the other day, I can't remember who it was, Connie B, somebody, but I was talking to somebody about, the order that the governor has out right now expires on July 3rd.
Which will be Friday.
I can't imagine the governor waiting until then to come out with a new order. Because if that new order was anything different from what's in place now, wouldn't it be chaos and pandemonium for the weekend? I mean, of the 4th? I mean, that could be...
I could see where that would lead to some problems, possibly, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm hoping she'll come on out with something here first of the week where everybody can keep their plans in place, if what plans you may have and that kind of thing. So, also, have you seen where the Blue Angels are going to now this year at the show? They're going to fly all the way from basically on a little past where Portofino is, all the way to Orange Beach. And that's going to be the area for their show this year.
I got invited to go watch the Blues Saturday at the ball game. I've never seen the Blues.
You've never seen?
I've never seen them. Now, let me say this.
I don't know.
Stokes and I were at the Andrews Clinic in Gulf Breeze, and we saw them fly by the window one time. But in terms of one of their exhibitions or performances, shows, whatnot, never seen them.
Well, I'll tell you this. You absolutely would be amazed at what you get to see. But this year it's going to be kind of scattered out because, like I said, they're going to be, back and forth between Orange Beach and Pensacola, which, let's be honest, in that jet, that's not that far. Yeah. But typically the show is about 45 minutes, and it's all kind of right out in front of the Casino Beach area of Pensacola Beach. This year they're going to be much more scattered out. So I'm anxious to see how that turns out.
Is that something you take in more times than not?
Oh, I go just about every year.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's just a good time. A lot of people. I just like watching those jets. I mean, they do some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
flying 18 inches apart at those speeds.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So, Tiffany, boiled, fried, it doesn't matter. Shrimp, and I could eat me some shrimp. Hey, I'm like 'em. Forrest Gump on that. I don't care what kind of shrimp it is either. I'm good. Just started a 3-day jumpstart challenge at Elite. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
That's somebody at Camp 31. You reckon that's Chef Adam?
Well, Chef Adam had posted in earlier under his name, so I don't know if he's
I don't know who that is.
Gone in, or if that's Larry or who that might be.
Robert Douglas said he'll take that challenge, that shrimp challenge. 4-day event. This year they're going to do it Thursday. I'm sorry. I don't know if they said Sunday. I know Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm going to assume Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I thought it was Wednesday.
It may be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Well, let me say this.
The reason they've done it on Sunday in the past, but it was because of weather. So
let me say this. I was invited to go on a Wednesday, and I was told it was the Blue Angels. That could have been they could have been setting me up for a joke.
No. They're doing it for 4 days this year, so that may be right. It may be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday is normally the main show. Thursday and Friday they normally practice, which is the exact same show.
Yeah.
With less people.
Yeah.
Because Saturday, that place would be crazy. So I think the reason they're spreading the show out is try to spread the people out.
That would make sense.
Yeah. And I'm just interested to see how it turns out, so. But if you've never seen them, you need to partake of that. I'm just
all that's
telling
going
you.
to do is turn a 3-day party into a 4-day party, right?
Well, that's all it did. Because you'll have boats that start docking up
Yeah.
at Quietwater Beach and anywhere they can on Monday of that week. And they'll stay there till Sunday of that week. So, he's on the work Mac. That's what Chef Adam said.
Okay.
But good morning, Best G Paul. Let's see. Yeah, Jess says she wants to hear you holler and compete. As fired up as you get, I'm telling you, man, it'll get your blood flowing now.
I might
If you like that kind of thing, it will. State will get that fourth revenue before locking back up. Yeah. Well, I like DJ said earlier, who knows? I mean, it's doing 45 minutes each day, July 8th through 11th. So the 8th, is that on a Wednesday? Let's see. Yes. So it is Wednesday through Sunday.
Okay.
So that is correct.
We didn't mention it. I like where you have us sitting this morning.
Yeah, well, that's a picture from you.
I know, but I think Ashley made the comment earlier, the power poles coming down 31 there.
That is cool, isn't it? And I love the fact that is an old L&N train.
Yeah.
That's so what year is that? Judging by the vehicles, I mean, you got Elmore's right there.
Yeah. I tell you, if you look at the car to the far left, if you're looking at the screen, it would be over my shoulder. That car is parked.
Yes.
That's not,
it's not in
an extra lane of traffic.
That's right.
That car is parked, and any car behind it is parked, which was the norm for the day. But I would say that's late 60s, early 70s.
That's what I would think. Hey, Cody, that's the best part of the show, in my opinion. Jesse James loves that as well. those sneak passes. I don't know if but you've never seen them, but you just have to go watch to understand what that means. Until you've seen them, it's just, it is what it is. Well, look, Sherry, you can, just put us on and you can listen. How about that? You don't have to worry about that. Just tell me watch or listen to Drive Time. They won't care. So, but I'm hoping maybe, maybe we can see this week some things starting to, level out. Here's the thing. I think it'd be kind of remiss to say, I mean, does it just kind of go with the more testing you do, the more cases you're going to have?
That would make sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, so again, not downplaying it. That's not the point. I'm saying that, everybody seems to be in a real bad spot about the number of cases going up. But I say, hey, with more testing, you're going to have that. And certainly, and I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing. It's not my point. I'm just saying just the numbers, when you're testing that many more people.
I'm just relaying what I heard this morning on ESPN.
Okay.
Buster Olney is the ESPN insider for Major League Baseball. And they had him on this morning. And, of course, they have announced plans to start their season a little later in the month. And they said, what is the percentage that they will actually start the season? And he said 5%. And then they asked with a follow-up question, what are the percentages of them finishing the season? And he said 0.
Wow.
He was not saying it in a comical state. He was saying it as an insider and as matter-of-factly. That's
quite telling. I don't know if that bodes well for any sport.
It doesn't. I think, and it'll be the domino effect. I think if you see one, of course, the NBA is set to start here in a week or so, and there are several players who, even though the league is starting back, are choosing not to come back. There's a handful of players. Not every team is coming back. I think 22 of the 30 teams are coming, but some of the players on those 22 teams said, I'm out. If somebody ever stops their season, you're going to see a domino effect.
Yeah. It's not going to be good.
Mm-mm.
So today is the 9th of June. I think it is. Yeah, 29th of June. 3 things being celebrated on the 29th of June.
Give them to me.
One of them is National Camera Day today.
Okay.
So for all of us that walk around with a phone, we have a camera in our hands and wave that thing high because it's National Camera Day.
Wait, what is that? What is that?
That's why
ridiculous.
That's why I wanted to put it out there. I'm not real sure.
National Camera Day.
It's National Camera Day. I mean,
how long has that been around?
I have no idea. This first time I've ever heard of this. I've got 2 better than that.
Okay.
Another thing that June 29th is known for, National Almond Butter Crunch Day.
National Almond Butter Crunch Day.
Yes.
I like almonds. I didn't know they had a day, but I do like almonds.
I just don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't understand. You know, I didn't know that almond butter crunch, is that like an ice cream? I mean, what is that?
Got me.
The best one. It's also National Waffle Iron Day.
Jesus. The apocalypse is upon us. Forget the COVID-19. It's over, guys. I'll tell you what, it's been real. I've enjoyed the ride. All of you have made it extra special for me. And I'm signing off.
This pimping that I got in my blood,
ridiculous,
it came
man.
from a family trait.
National Waffle Iron Day. And there will be people that'll celebrate it. I have no doubt of that.
Somewhere there are a group of people that's got those Lego or Egos out right now.
It's over, man.
I mean, is that not crazy? I mean, you know, that's nuts.
National Waffle Iron Day.
Can't make this stuff up, man. You just can't. On this day in 2007, Apple released the first iPhone.
Really? 13 years old?
In 2007, yep. On this day.
Did you have one of the prototypes?
I did, and they've come a long way, for sure. But I thought that, to me, the iPhone was just an extension. Honestly, the first one was more of an extension of the iPod. And what I mean by that is they took the iPod and put a phone with it and made it into a different case, obviously, but you had something that you could play music and all that kind of thing with. Did you ever own an iPod? I mean, did you ever,
I got in the game on 7.
Okay, well, they made different ones and had different sizes and all this kind of stuff. But the last several generations of iPods basically were iPhones just without the iPhone in it. Just without the phone in it.
Yeah.
But it had the, you know, like you'd press it to listen to music. That I don't want to say apps per se, but yeah, I guess it did have apps. So it you know, to me, the iPod revolutionized all the technology.
Is the iPod what you had your music in?
Yes.
And that was the handheld?
Yes. It started out as a clunky, bigger.
But it didn't have a phone feature. It
didn't. All it did was play
that was
music.
The music.
And then within a couple
what was the little thing?
Well, they had that was after the original iPods. That was like the iPod Nanos. That kind of thing. But the original iPods were squared, you know, kind of big, like bricks. And depending on what size you had would depend on how many songs it would hold.
Okay.
And, you know, so a lot of that has, they've come a long way for sure. It says here, while in development under the watchful eye of Steve Jobs, the project, codenamed Project Purple, was initially supposed to create a new type of tablet. But Jobs redirected the team to work on a phone. An iPad did eventually come out of the project. Since then, the various models have sold billions of units worldwide after reporting 2.2 billion unit sales in 2018. Apple has been relatively mum on just how many it has sold.
So from a phone standpoint, are they now on model 13? Is it iPod 13?
No, it's iPhone 11.
iPhone,
Yeah.
iPhone what, 11?
11.
Okay.
Now, hey, let me say this. Starting around, I want to say maybe 4, they started those mid-year. Every 2 years they release a new one. But the mid-year, they'd have like the 4S.
Yeah.
So there's probably really been about 20 or so different incarnations of that.
Okay.
So, I'm not real sure, but how about that? Ashley said her uncle flew with angels. His granddaughter is now in the training program to fly. Oh, I bet. Love going to his house. I would. I'm telling you, I'd love to fly with one of them. Would you do it?
No. Hell no.
You would. They couldn't if they offered it to you. You couldn't.
No. Absolutely not. Under no circumstances. If I was conscious, no.
They have to do like the 18, like Mr. T. They have to come over and slip you up.
They slipped me a Mickey and put me up there in the seat, and I was just stuck there. That'd be no. I would never willingly get on one of those birds.
You were back in the day. When they were getting on a plane. Face or Murdoch, one of them had to go around over there and like hit Mr. T in the arm or the neck with one of those sleeping things, would make him pass out and go to sleep because he refused to get on a plane.
I would never get on a Blue Angel, ever.
But you would get on a plane if you had to.
Yeah, I have flown.
Were you a little nervous about it?
Sure I was.
So you didn't care for it?
No, but I mean.
But you had to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So. Well, what's going on with the ballpark this week?
Same old. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
So y'all have got, do you think a lot of people will be there Friday with July 4th being Saturday?
I'll take that back. We're probably not scheduled to play on Friday. Usually Coach Dickey does a good job of getting us out there on Thursday for the long weekend.
Right.
So I stand corrected. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday this week.
Well, that ought to be fun. Is this going? I know you've told me this before. Is this going to kind of wind y'all up this morning or this week?
This week should be the last week for the most part, I believe.
So, any playoffs in the?
Nah,
just that's just going to wind it up. So July there won't be much happening. Not in the way of recreation.
There'll still be travel ball, but rec league will be pretty much done.
I got you. Yeah, so I was just reading this here. Governor Ivey waives extending safer at home order for Alabama. That's what she's got out now.
Are we going to try to get Dr. Mackey on this week?
Yeah. Sure are.
I bet he'll do it.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, she hasn't announced anything. I thought maybe this was going to say whether she had. But no, she hadn't announced anything yet, so we're still kind of in a holding pattern on that. Yeah, I'm gonna reach back out to him today and see if I can't get him to call in and fill us in on where we've come, where we've been, and that kind of thing.
Be good.
I know, like you said, the first couple of times we talked to him, we were, he seemed like it was a all or nothing kind of deal. Tell you something I was encouraged to see. I saw some heavy equipment out there at the bridge.
They said they're getting ready to do something.
In Riverview.
Yeah.
There's a porta potty right in the middle of the bridge, right where we went fishing that day.
Mm-hmm.
They must have been thinking about us.
I guess so.
So for all y'all that want to get your fishing in, make sure you get out there and get your fishing in now because they're about to bust that thing up and you won't have a chance to do any of that fishing. They're about to bust that whole deal up. I think didn't you say they were taking off the whole top?
I don't know what they're doing.
I thought that's somebody. Maybe I read that somewhere. I don't know. Let's see. PGP. This is interesting history day. I thought that was pretty cool to know that it was National Waffle Iron Day. You know what I'm saying?
It's over.
I mean, I think they got a day for everything.
That's going to wind us up.
I mean, I just think they do. I mean, you know, when are they going to have a national compete day?
That's every day.
I wonder if they do.
I do. I recognize and celebrate it every day.
I bet you they already have one. What you want to bet?
Every day.
I bet they already have a national compete day. We just don't know about it. So I want to say this. I say this kind of towards the end. Don't be surprised if you don't see a few riddles pop up this week. We still don't have a winner. Last week was kind of not in a position to. If we had one, we wouldn't in a position to do anything about it. But back at it this week. So don't be surprised if you don't see a few drop this week.
Still out there.
It's still out there. We want to give somebody this money, don't we?
Yeah, I hope somebody picks it up.
Yeah. I mean, I really not going to lie to you. I swear, I would have thought it had been found. I mean, I you know, and you've read them all. I mean, if none of your places not worked out?
Not yet.
I mean, you typically have some pretty good guesses, but you just hadn't been able to stumble up on it yet, is what you're saying.
Nope.
Well, so anything going on today that we might need to put out there or want to put out there?
Not that I'm aware of, but I do love Mondays. A lot of people don't. I love Mondays.
Get the week started.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of opportunity.
Get going.
Yeah. I love Mondays. I've always loved Mondays.
Yeah. Hey, well, I can tell you this. It's going to be a good time. Mondays are always fun.
Yep.
Whether you like them or not. There's always something fun happening on Monday. Flying is safer than driving, DJ. That's Melanie French said that. That is true.
If you say so.
I mean, that is true. Jeff Robinson said he would. He just don't know if his cardiologist would like it. What's the pot at now, DJ?
21-25, I believe.
21-25. Still out there up for grabs.
21-25.
And a pot full of prizes as well. So it's still out there. Get ready. We're gonna come out with some more riddles this week and get back on track with that and all that kind of stuff and try to get ready for the big 4th.
Yep.
Coming up.
It'll be here.
So with East Bruton not having their fireworks show this year, you know, let us know where the fireworks is going to be. Post it up in Drive Time. We'd love to know. Again, we want to congratulate Dustin Postlethwaite and Brian Wesley on their big wins of the first responders giveaway. Long wheelbase 10 apiece.
I love it.
Yeah, we'll reach out to both
Thanks
those
to everybody
guys.
who nominated all the first responders. That was a good deal.
It was. A lot of people in there and a lot of great deserving people in there as well. So I'm sure we'll do something like that again before it's over with. We want to thank Jesse Rigby at James Furniture for coming in and putting that out there as well. And, you know, I just tell you what, you can't thank those guys enough for what they do because they have to do it and they don't get a choice.
Special people.
They really are. Really are. All right, DJ. We got to roll.
It's been a great Monday. Off and running. Hope everybody has a great week, safe week. Leading into the big July 4th weekend. If you have some time to waste tomorrow, get back in here with us and we'll do it all over again. Y'all have a good one. Love y'all.